In a world where the wealth of the richest 1% equals that of the other 99%, poverty is a harsh reality for millions. Our planet is a wonder filled with abundance, yet this abundance is not distributed evenly. Economic disparities are stark, with a handful of individuals possessing more wealth than entire nations. This is the reality of global poverty, a reality where basic necessities like food, shelter, and clean water are luxuries for many. It's a world where the struggle for survival overshadows dreams and aspirations. This reality is not confined to a single region or continent, but is spread across the globe, impacting millions of lives. Poverty is not just about lack of wealth, it's about the lack of opportunities, lack of access to resources, and the lack of hope for a better future. Now, let's delve into the world of the 15 poorest countries, where survival is a daily struggle. We begin our journey at the 15th position, held by the Central African Republic. This country, rich in diamonds and other natural resources, struggles due to political instability and conflict, leading to a low GDP per capita. Our next stop is the Democratic Republic of Congo at 14th place. Despite being the world's largest producer of cobalt, the nation grapples with corruption, poor governance, and a lack of infrastructure. We then head to Burundi, sitting at the 13th spot. The crippling effects of a long-lasting civil war and reliance on rain-fed agriculture make it one of the poorest nations. In the 12th position, we find Mozambique. Natural disasters and diseases have significantly affected this country's economic growth. Just ahead of Mozambique at 11th place is Malawi. The economy heavily depends on agriculture, which is often disrupted by erratic weather patterns. As we move up the list, the economic conditions become even more dire. At number 10, we have the Democratic Republic of Congo. Despite its vast natural resources, the Democratic Republic of Congo's GDP per capita is one of the world's lowest. Conflict and political instability have led to severe economic struggles, keeping the population in poverty. Next, at number 9, is Liberia. Decades of civil war and political unrest have left Liberia's economy in ruins, with a significant portion of the population living below the poverty line. At number 8 is Burundi, a nation burdened by a lack of educational resources and infrastructure, contributing to its extreme poverty levels. 7th on our list is Malawi, a country where the economy is largely based on agriculture, making it highly susceptible to climate changes and market volatility. And finally, at number 6, we find Niger. With a rapidly growing population and scarce resources, Niger faces significant economic challenges. Now, brace yourselves as we enter the top 5. The 5th poorest country in the world is the Central African Republic. With a GDP per capita of just over $300, the Central African Republic's economy is in a critical state. The country's wealth, or rather lack thereof, is primarily due to political instability and poor infrastructure, which hampers its potential for economic growth. Next, we journey to the Democratic Republic of Congo, sitting at number 4. Despite being rich in natural resources, this country's GDP per capita is under $400. Civil unrest, corruption, and a lack of education contribute to the high poverty rates here. Coming in at number 3, we find Burundi. This small, landlocked nation has a GDP per capita of less than $300. Agriculture is the mainstay of the economy, but the country struggles with overpopulation, poor education, and a lack of access to clean water and sanitation facilities. The second poorest country in the world is South Sudan. Having gained independence only recently in 2011, South Sudan is grappling with civil war and political strife, which has crippled its economic development. The GDP per capita here is less than $250. Finally, at number 1, we have Malawi. Known as the warm heart of Africa, this nation unfortunately has the lowest GDP per capita, standing at just over $200. Agricultural dependency, rapid population growth, and high HIV/AIDS rates are the main contributors to Malawi's economic plight. These countries endure the harshest economic conditions due to a combination of factors such as political instability, lack of education, poor infrastructure, and health issues. However, It's not all gloom and doom. International aid, improved governance, investment in education and infrastructure, and economic reforms can go a long way in alleviating poverty in these nations. These countries endure the harshest economic conditions, but there is hope for change. From the 15th poorest to the absolute poorest, we have journeyed through countries where poverty is not just a statistic, but a daily reality. These nations, from various corners of the globe, share a common struggle against economic hardship, a fight that is often overlooked by the rest of the world. The stark disparities we've discussed today outline the urgent need for global efforts to alleviate poverty. It's a massive task, but not an insurmountable one. Each one of us can contribute in our own ways, whether by raising awareness, volunteering, or supporting organizations that work towards poverty eradication. In this interconnected world, the fight against poverty is not isolated to these 15 countries. It's a global fight, one that requires collective action and shared responsibility. Let's not let borders define our compassion or our capacity to make a change. Remember, poverty is not a choice, but fighting it is. Together we can make a difference.